If you're in your 20s, I promise you're going to want to watch this video. It might be the wake-up call that you really needed. I'm Angelene, and I help 20-somethings stop wasting time and start living intentionally. And I know, your 20s are so confusing. It's kind of hard to tell where to start and what to do because there's so many different phases, paths that you can go through. It's pretty much all up to you all of a sudden after high school. It's very hard to tell where to go from there. So this is why I created this channel and created this 5-part series that will show you exactly how to get back on your feet and really start living the life that you want to live in your 20s. This is part 1 of the 5-part series, and today we are focusing on connecting with who you really are. This topic is so important because reconnecting with who you really are will help you actually live a life that's purposeful, that's fulfilling, that is intentional, and with every step and every choice that you make in your life, it becomes more and more easier to choose the right path. Things that we carry throughout our childhood and into our 20s is really going to affect the way that we live our life. It's so hard to take accountability and really change and reframe who we are because we're always so stuck with, what we have already known our whole life. I really want you guys to realize that once you hit your 20s and you're on your own, you're an adult now, this is when you can really start figuring out and shaping your life exactly how you want it to be. I love to read the Daily Stoic. It's a book with philosopher quotes. Every day of the year has a specific page. Back in 2023, I started reading it. This is my 3rd year now fully reading it through. And it's been one of the backbones of what's helped me just starting the day off right with a passage like that helps me keep my brain wired for things that truly matter in life. And so I wanted to put today's Daily Stoic passage right here. This is for the day that it's going to be uploaded. And I think that if you're here right now, no matter what day it is, and you're reading this, it was meant to be. A lot of people in their 20s start their 20s living on autopilot, chasing validation, doing things they think they should be doing rather than really doing things that they want to do and feel truly called to do in their life, which ends up really losing touch with themselves and not fully knowing themselves. And this will lead to a lot of making regretful decisions, reaching their 30s, having wasted a lot of time in their 20s, doing nothing or chasing a life that really isn't theirs. First of all, you can't live an intentional life if you don't truly know yourself. So let's first talk about one of my favorite concepts, self-awareness. Self-awareness is the ability to know yourself through all phases of your life that you've went through thus far. You know exactly why you are the way you are. You know why you react the way that you do. You know the things that make you tick, that make you angry. You know the things that you love in life. Always questioning what you're doing. Self-awareness by definition. Let's look. I'm just going to go on ChatGPT. Self-awareness is the ability to consciously recognize and understand your own thoughts, emotions, behaviors, and patterns, and how they affect you and the people around you. It has 2 main parts: internal self-awareness, noticing what's going on inside of you, your feelings, values, strengths, weaknesses, and motivations. External self-awareness, understanding how others perceive you and how your actions impact them. Self-awareness, I think, is the foundation of intentional living because it helps ground yourself in the present moment rather than coasting through life and just being like, okay, this is exactly how it's supposed to be. It's whatever. I'm this way because I've just always been this way, or this is that way because that's how my family is. That's how it is in my life. That's how my friends I've grown up with or have always been. So I have to accept that. The thing is that you don't have to accept anything. Self-awareness is definitely a skill that needs to be learned over time. Imagine you are in a room that's dark and there's no flashlight and you're just kind of like wandering around. Hopefully, I don't trip on something, or hopefully I can be guided somehow. Hopefully I can just figure it out as I go and just kind of mindlessly going and not knowing exactly what's next. That's pretty much what not having self-awareness is. But imagine having a flashlight in that dark room. I shouldn't step there. I shouldn't go down that door because that door leads to pain and regret and misery. That door is where I want to walk through because this is how it affects my life. This is my values in my life. Now let's talk about why people get stuck in their 20s. Why do people even feel lost in the first place? When you're growing up and you are going through your grade school or you're going through different things in life, you start to realize things going on in my life that I have no control over, like my parents or like loss in the family and stuff like that. I'm just doomed for bad luck. I'm just negative, whatever. Then they graduate high school and they are thrown into the real world. And then you realize, wow, there's so many different paths to take in this real world. I have no idea what to go down. Like, am I going to live with my parents? Am I going to go to university? Am I going to just go get a job, join the military? But I'm artistic and creative. I want to make a living out of the arts or music. There's so many different paths to go down, and there's so many different people telling you what's right and what's wrong. Well, I'm here to tell you and validate your feelings. The path that you choose in your life is not wrong, as long as it's not like hurting people and drugs and stuff. Whatever you choose and feel called to is not wrong. I understand that there's so much pressure from social media, from your family, from your friends, your peers. Hustle culture in general always is telling you that you're not doing enough. You're wasting your time, that if you're not a millionaire by 20 years old, then you kind of lost it. All of this leads to burnout and misalignment. Ultimately, you probably watching this video right now. Wanted to give my personal wake-up call because I know it just kind of seems like, okay, who's this girl? Why is she just telling me about all this stuff? Like, she knows everything. I am 24 years old, and I know I have so much more time in my 20s to experience, which I am so excited for. However, I have been through so much since I've entered this decade, so many things that I have survived. It's time for people to start talking about real life advice from someone that actually has lived experience. When I was really lost in my 20s, I need real advice for people that aren't just going to tell me what they think I want to hear. And I'm here to tell you what you should hear, what you need to hear. Ultimately, I grew up so fast. Once I turned 20. That's why I feel like I have the credentials to really speak to you today. And I really want to give you like real advice. Like, I want to really help you here. Let's get down to the nitty gritty and tell you exactly what you need to do to reconnect with who you really are in order to start living a life that's more intentional and fulfilling. I have 3 simple steps. Get quiet, get honest, and get help. Get quiet means to start removing your distractions, limiting your screen time, limiting the things that are distracting you from your feelings, from your real life problems and uncomfortable situations. In our digital generation, everyone is so glued to their phones. It's time to stop letting our distractions live for us. I'm not saying you have to delete your social media. When I first went off of social media for 100 days, it was really the turning point when I actually started to really change and see real change in myself and my personality. I wouldn't say isolating yourself is a healthy thing to do. I've already done that before, isolated myself way too much and to the point where it's like unhealthy. So I will never preach that. But I think limited isolation, like intentional limited isolation for a specific amount of time is healthy because you are practicing your own boundaries and you're practicing staying away from distractions for a little bit of time so that you can build the discipline and motivation that you need to live the life that you want. I mean, everything in moderation. If it gets to a point of like you're spending months and months and months and you haven't seen a single person and you don't go on social media, you don't do anything social and all you do is work, then that's to a point where it's unhealthy. I went 3.5 months, 1 year without social media, so 100 days. I didn't really see anybody. I didn't really have any friends at the time. I had a boyfriend at the time, but like it was really helping me build this resilience within myself when I finally got quiet, and that was years ago. So even just this year, it's been 9 months almost since I've been on Instagram or Facebook or any social media, just YouTube. I've really grown so much to the point where like I've decided to make this channel and really speak about the things that have helped me in my life. Getting quiet is the first step to self-awareness and really reconnecting with who you truly are, really getting to know that person. Because when you get quiet, you really start to listen to everything that's going on up here. You'll be surprised at what you hear. And you'll probably be hurt. That's just part of the process, honestly. And you have to embrace these times because it's what's going to really pull you through to your breakthrough, honestly. The next step is getting honest. So once you've gotten quiet, you finally start to recognize your feelings. You've been journaling and you've been really seeing a difference in yourself. Maybe it's been because you haven't been on social media in a while, or it's because you haven't been out with your friends every weekend or every other day, or you haven't been like texting them all day long anxiously, and you start to recognize where you're in misalignment with who you are in your path in life. I really think that just getting quiet for long enough, the universe starts to show you exactly what's missing, and you recognize that like I am really craving social attention on social media, or I'm craving posting this outfit on my story today, craving going to that party. You start to get honest about like why you're craving these things. You start to see things that are missing, the things that are hurting you because it's missing, and the things that are making you better because it's missing. And so you start getting honest and you're like, this is exactly why I've been out of alignment. You start to fill your free time with things that actually start building your mental resilience, your emotional resilience, and your sense of self, your true sense of self starts to truly grow. And the last thing I said of the 3 steps is getting help. I'm here to tell you the truth and always the truth. There's absolutely nothing wrong with getting therapy. Let's look up the definition of therapy. Therapy is a structured process where a trained professional helps someone explore their thoughts, emotions, and behaviors in order to improve their mental, emotional, or relational well-being. At its core, therapy is about creating a safe space to better understand yourself, work through challenges, and develop healthier ways of coping or growing. There's different types of therapies. In short, therapy is guided self-reflection and growth with the support of someone trained to help you heal and move forward. It doesn't mean there's something wrong with you. It doesn't mean that your life is in danger or that you're doomed. It means that you finally have the self-awareness to understand that you want a better life and that you want different in your life. You're actually taking the steps to help yourself unlearn unhealthy patterns that you've been growing into for your whole life. There's something so complex yet so simple about the fact that we are not truly who we think we are because of the nature of life. We grow through life naturally, of course, but we're also nurtured through life, through experiences, through our parents, through our peers growing up, our siblings, the people who were taking care of us when we grew up. You carry the things that they have taught you or the things that you've been influenced by, even on social media. You carry that in your life and you start to think that this is the way that you should be because you've been this way all your life or you've only seen it this way. Getting the right help is going to make you have accountability to finally break through the barriers of who you're supposed to be. Therapy isn't here to be like, you're a weak person. Like, no, you're actually a strong person for recognizing that you have unhealthy thought patterns or you have difficult ways of coping with your emotions and you need guidance and real accountability and steps to help you through that because you want to live a better life. Like, there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with admitting that what you've been doing in your life isn't healthy. Sometimes we do fall down bad paths. I mean, a lot of us have gone through so many things in our life, like so many difficult situations. It's hard to guide these emotions. Like, human emotions are so complex and so difficult to work through. And I just don't believe that doing it alone is the best course of action. We all need help in some way, shape, or form. We all need help. You're here because you need guidance. I'm here because this is therapeutic for me to talk about and it helps fulfill my life knowing that I have a platform to speak about the things that I've been through in my life and also help somebody in the process. The biggest step to reconnecting with who you are is sharpening the skill of self-awareness. And to sharpen your skill of self-awareness, you have 3 steps: to get quiet, get honest, and get help. Reconnecting with who you really are is not going to be a simple, easy path. Might bring up shame, might bring up guilt, but that's a normal process of this healing step. Knowing yourself will give you the space to make easier decisions, waste less time, and ultimately live more intentionally. And I really want that for you. Alright, to end this video, I wanted to leave a journal prompt up here for you. All of these journal prompts that I'm going to give you in my videos on this channel are journal prompts that I've used in some way, shape, or form, or the exact ones I have used to help me in my journey of reconnecting with myself. You can journal it on your own, or you can let me know in the comments. Either way, I'm so excited for you and always ready for a conversation in the comments with you guys. I hope you all enjoyed this video. For a more intentional you, hit subscribe, and if you're ready to stop wasting your potential, I have part 2 coming out very shortly, so stay tuned for that. I will see you guys there. Bye.